real estate agents. Welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. How you doing, Joey?
I'm a little sad.
Why are you sad?
Our Phoenix Suns lost. I know this is a week after, but still, they lost. Anyway.
That was horrible, wasn't it? I don't have live TV, so I couldn't watch it anyway.
Yeah.
But I did watch the highlights on my phone. And
I mean, I'm excited we have our awesome guest here, so that makes it for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, today we've got Dawn Forkenbrock with Keller Williams Realty Sonoran Living. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How
Good.
are you?
Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks for
big
having
shout
me.
out to Susan Cunningham, right?
Yes.
For getting you on the show with Security Title.
Yep.
She's amazing.
Yes, she is.
Absolutely.
Love Susan.
So what did you think about the Suns thing? Were you a big fan or?
I was a fan in 1995, so I was kind of reliving my childhood of getting excited about the Suns again.
Okay.
So I was disappointed. My son was really into it, so he's 8. So yeah, it was disappointing, but like my husband said, hey, they had a great run.
They did.
Look how far they made it.
Yeah. First
Second
time in the
place.
playoffs in a
Yeah.
long time, right?
Second isn't bad.
It's not bad at all.
So
They're still young.
exactly.
They are still young.
Yep.
So how have things been with you? Real estate's just going crazy?
Real estate, I had a baby 6 months ago, so
Yeah,
adjusting to
congratulations.
that, and having 3 kids and running a real estate business, so yeah,
Babies in the house are a lot of work.
yes,
Yeah.
they're great though.
my wife and I's oldest daughter had a little one about almost 10 months ago.
Oh,
And they live with us, her and her husband and the little one. We have a house that accommodates both families, but yeah, it's no more sleeping in for sure. I mean, even though we have our own side, but no, there's
Still noise.
they have good lungs.
just
For little
sleeping is
things.
great at this point.
Yeah,
Kind of
absolutely.
gave up on sleeping in.
Yeah. So Don, why don't you share with the agents that are watching or listening how long you've been in real estate and what got you into the business?
So I've been in real estate about 6.5 years, and I got in it after leaving my corporate job at a bank. I'd been there for almost 15 years, and after my first child, my son, was born, I decided not to go back and stay home, so I didn't work for a couple years. And kudos to those parents that stay home with their kids, because it just wasn't for me. I
Yeah.
love my kids and I love being with them, but I also love having something outside of the home. And when I was pregnant with my second, we decided I needed to do something and not be home all the time. And my husband is actually the one that brought up, what about real estate? You were always interested in that, but you couldn't get your license because you worked for a bank. It's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So I went to real estate school when I was like 8.5 months pregnant, passed my exam at 9 months pregnant, and gave birth a couple weeks later, and started working about 4 months after she was born is when I had my first sale, and sold 4 houses my first year, so didn't work a whole lot. Sold 8 houses my second year, and that's when I was really seeing how much I liked the business and wanted to grow it, and from that point I went full time.
Yeah. Okay. So how's that transition from the bank, right? Because it's
Yeah.
very
Yes.
structured, fit in the box, whatever. Because I worked for B of A before. I kind of went off on my own too, but yeah. But it's a big change, right?
Yes.
How was it transitioning to now you are the boss and you have to make your time, right, to do things. You didn't have a clock to punch in. How did you transition to that?
I would just say it was so awesome because, coming from the bank, I was a manager at one point, and in a way you're like the owner of the branch, even though you've got somebody telling you what to do, but you do have some flexibility where you can kind of run your own business, but then they tell you, no, you can't do it this way, you got to do it that way. So being able to have my own business and run it the way I want to run it and seeing success happen from my ideas was just so amazing. And of course, the schedule, not having to go in super early, never really knowing what time you're going to get done. I set my own schedule. So as a working parent, I'm just so grateful to have this job where I can be at the practices, I can be at the games, I can drop off my kids at school, I can volunteer, and go to the field trips, even though that was absolutely insane. I did that too. But it's just been such a blessing, and so awesome is the word I would use.
Yeah.
It was
that's cool.
Yeah, it was a good transition.
That's great.
Yeah, my transition wasn't so good because
Oh, no.
well, I came from the corporate world, but it was the IT world, and then I became a loan officer, and from there, after I got laid off, I was like, I got to do something. I did it during the refi business, so I was making a bunch of money, but then when it slowed down, I was like, okay, now what? And I didn't know how to run my own business, and I was like, oh boy. But I knew I wanted to stay in there, so I had to learn to be my own boss, and I structured myself, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still struggling with that. Structure. What is that? Anyway, so you talked about earlier about jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any jokes about your old job?
Well,
That you
yeah,
can say on air?
actually, something I can think of that you could never do today. But back then, I put sheets on the bathroom doors that said bathroom sign-in sheet, time in, time out. And it was totally a joke. And some people got a little upset while the rest of us are cracking up.
Did anybody sign it?
Yes.
That's funny. Keeping track of how long people are in the bathroom.
Yeah.
With their phones.
Right. Well, back
Well,
then,
back
They didn't
then,
have phones.
we probably didn't have smartphones then.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you like to do video.
I
said,
do.
right?
Yes.
So tell us about that. I mean, how long have you been doing video? Kind of, how did you get started with it? And because a lot of people are scared to do video,
Yeah.
Even now.
even now. Yeah, even though they've got it right here, right, on the
Yeah.
mobile device. But so, tell us your experience with that.
I love watching video, and I got to give credit to Tom Ferry. He's a big real estate coach because he's really big on video. And he said, you've got to do video and stop worrying about what you look like and what you sound like, because I've got news for you. That's what you look like, and that's what you sound like. So just do it. That's what you look like. And so that's what I tell myself when I record these things. It's like, just talk normal, talk how I normally would, because what you're seeing here is what they're going to see. There's nothing different about it. So once I got that in my mind and that mentality, I kind of got over that fear. But yeah, I've been doing it for maybe about 2 years. I incorporate it in listing videos, market updates, random things I like to share. Like my last one was about some deodorant that I was using, just to share cool stuff that I find.
Yeah.
And so you do YouTube, and you also post some on Facebook then, and
Yep,
Instagram. Or
Instagram.
what?
Yep. All of the
TikTok. I
above.
don't know if you're doing TikTok.
I try TikTok. Yeah, I'll just stick to Instagram and Facebook.
So do you use different platforms for different types of videos then? Do you use YouTube for mostly like your real estate listing type stuff, and then do you do some of the funnier stuff, off the cuff stuff, just on Facebook and Instagram then? Or
What I've been doing lately, a lot of the longer videos, they go on all the platforms. So the listing videos are going to go on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. But what I'm really loving lately are the videos on stories. I love the closed caption feature, because not everybody has their sound on, and they're shorter videos. You can do a minute in the stories.
yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of the more casual, fun, let's talk about my deodorant type of videos on my stories.
Got it. And have you, can you attribute any additional business, you think, from some of the videos at this point? Or
I would, people ask me that, well, how many sales do you think you get from social media? I don't think it's necessarily just social media. I think it's layering. I mean, most of the people I get business from are people that I know. Either I personally know, or they're referred to me by somebody I personally know.
Yeah.
So it's not just about social media. They see me on social media, but they're also getting my cute cards. I send them in the mail. And I keep in touch with the people nearest and dearest to me. So, they're getting phone calls from me because I want to see how they're doing.
Right.
And so it's not just social media. I think it's a combination of
Yeah.
everything. But I definitely think a lot of my people watch my social media.
Sure. So do you friend, I guess, a lot of your clients, or a lot of your clients are friends already?
That's what I
basically
feel
through-
like.
Okay.
I feel
That's
like
cool.
for the most part, if they weren't my friend, they become my friend, and we want to get to know each other better. Usually we don't do that until after their sale, just because we're focused on that and
Right.
not so much about my deodorant or what my kids are doing on the weekend. But after their house sells, usually we connect
Yeah.
more.
Well, and it's easier, isn't it, now to stay in front of your people
Yeah.
using
It is.
social. I mean, that's one benefit to social media, I think.
You know, I think that, remember when we used to teach video a lot back then, and I actually was using video in 2007 and started teaching it in 2008. A lot of the agents and even loan officers, they say, well, what's the ROI? I think that's just an excuse, because it's not about the ROI on that. It's about branding, who you are, and getting people to know who you are. And so that just helps the relationship, where you don't have to actually physically be there to grow that relationship with them. It's like a sitcom. When you know the character, you feel more comfortable with them.
I
So,
totally agree with that. And, I've come to realize I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody's going to want to work with me, and that's okay. But by putting myself out there, I'm attracting the people that
like
like
you.
me and
Exactly.
want to work with me. And that's better for me, too, working with somebody that
That's
likes
right.
me. So
That's right.
Absolutely. So I think the key is, as you make these connections on social, I mean, you're obviously putting out there that you're a real estate agent, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of people just put things out but they forget about, oh yeah, I should probably let people know that
Yeah.
I'm actually a real estate agent, right?
Yep.
That's good. You got to mix them together. On,
She mentioned the stat earlier.
oh yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
we should share that.
Let's see, what was that stat?
Oh, when we were
Oh,
talking
I think it
about
was
listing
like
videos.
400% something,
Yeah.
right?
It was
Listings that have video.
receive over
like
400% more
more.
inquiries than those listings that don't have video.
Yep.
And then the National Association of Realtors came out that less than 1% of agents are actually using video for their listings.
Crazy.
I wonder why.
I think they're scared. Oh, two things. They're scared and they don't want to spend the money.
And they don't like
Oh,
how
there
they,
you go. That's
Yeah.
the,
And
that's
they
the
don't
big
like
one.
how they look or sound, right?
Right. Even though that's how they look and sound.
But they could just do a video of the property, right?
They
They don't
could.
have to be on camera. Now
That
the
is
voice
true.
would be on there, but not everybody has a voice like me. No. I could do some cool videos. This is the barbecue grill. No. Anyway, yeah, that's horrible. You also talked about you have your niche. You like to market for listings.
I love
And you want to share a
marketing.
little bit about your marketing and how you're doing that for listings.
Yes, I love marketing. I love sharing my marketing when I meet with sellers. Video, obviously, is a big part of it. But it always surprises me how many agents out there, they do, I call it the 3 Ps of real estate, where they place the listing on the MLS, they put a sign in the yard, and then they pray someone else comes and sells the house. And they literally do nothing. They just sit back. And I think even in this seller's market, we have to market listings because that's not fair to the seller. Like, sure, we could just throw a sign out there and maybe get 1 or 2 offers right now. But how great would it be to attract all these potential buyers and get 10 offers or 12 offers and be able to really dive deep and pick and choose which offer really makes the most sense
Yeah.
for the seller? It just makes no sense to me. Like, we have to be marketing
Yeah.
these
Yeah,
houses
absolutely.
for people.
So give us an example. So with today's market, I mean, obviously, I know a lot of agents are probably just putting it on there, right?
Yeah.
And then put it on a Thursday and have their open house on Saturday or over the weekend, and then want their offers in by Monday or whatever, right? So how would you market, or how are you marketing properties, even in today's market? What are you doing with the extra marketing?
Yeah, so I call it old school and like newer type technology-based marketing because not everybody is on Facebook or Instagram. So yeah, I definitely utilize social media to market my listings, but I'm also doing some other things like print marketing. I have flyers made. They're like on computer paper, color. They're nice. They get hand delivered to the nearest either 500 or 1,000 homes near the listing. Because the idea is if somebody lives in the neighborhood, they probably like the neighborhood and they probably know somebody else that likes the neighborhood. And I've just found that those seem to get more response than the mailers. Because I think when people get a bunch of mail, it's like, okay, here's all my junk mail. Let me just
Exactly.
toss it. At least if it's at your door, it's an extra 5 seconds of, oh, what is this
Yeah.
piece of paper?
And of course, they're going to want to know what it's worth because they're thinking, oh, I wonder how much mine is worth.
Yes, and I'll give everybody a little secret, and it's not to put the price on the flyer, because then you're
interesting.
getting a phone call or a text or an email.
True.
to find out what the price is. And also then you can follow up with the people that are actual potential buyers later on. So that's one way. Another way, I feel like it's a best kept secret of our MLS that not a lot of people use, is reverse prospecting. And that's when we can go in. So when an agent sets up a search for a buyer, they're typing in basic criteria like location, price, square feet, number of bedrooms, and see what listings pop up. Well, I can go in and type in the basic criteria for my listing and see who has set up searches. But then you can be strategic about it. Maybe my listing is in Queen Creek, but the agent set up the search for Mesa or Gilbert or Chandler. And perhaps that buyer, not being able to find a house, is willing to come to Queen Creek.
Sure.
So that's one way that I like to do it. Another way is through slide dial technology. And that's where we have lists of phone numbers and emails that we're able to pull from a geographic location. So typically it's like 2-mile radius out from the house that you're selling. And you can pre-record a message that gets blasted to everybody's voicemail. So I'm sure we've all had our phone ring for 1 second and you can't even pick it up. And then you have a voicemail. That's slide dial. So I do the recording, and it's like, hey, it's Dawn Forkenbrock with Keller Williams Realty, Sonore and Living. Just want to let you know about our new listing in your neighborhood. It's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. It has an amazing pool. You've got to stop by the open house. Call or text me with any questions, yada, yada. And so then they're getting it. So that's another way that we can reach more people. Typically through the social media. I'm really big on social media, but I love the targeted ads. So that way the post is reaching the people that I choose based on the criteria that I choose. Because when I do a post on my business page, probably 20 people see it. And probably 2 of them are my cousins in Michigan. Thanks for following me, but I don't think you are really going to want to buy my listing. So I want the people that maybe are actually going to possibly be interested in my listing to be seeing those. So that's huge, especially the video. I mean, I can get thousands of people that view the video instead of the 20 with 10% being in Michigan that are related to me.
That's great, because I like how you take traditional and digital marketing and weave them together. It just makes sense. And I like that you're still doing it during this busy time, because that puts you in, that's a habit that you're going to do every time, even when the market starts to slow down, where people like me, when I first got into the loan, being a loan officer, well, I was just getting business, and I didn't know how to run a business. But if I ran the business from the start, and when it started to slow down, I still would have kept doing what I'm doing. So kudos to you.
Yeah, and I think like also the photos are so big. That's something so simple. But I was on the MLS this morning, and there's a new listing, $4 million listing. Gorgeous home. I'm not going to say where it was because I don't want people to go try to find it and call that agent out. Cell phone pictures.
They're relying on the market almost.
Yes, it's so disappointing. Most buyers are starting their search online, and so the first thing they see are the photos. So I think using a professional photographer, that is just like...
It makes a big difference.
No
and
option.
It's not very expensive.
No. I sold a manufactured home a few years ago that we listed, I think, for $60,000, and I hired a professional photographer. I mean, I just don't think it's an option. And I think it's lazy, personally. I think we all need to be doing that. So I wonder why
sellers, I mean, wouldn't you think that owner would go to them and be like, what in the world is this?
Well, most of them don't know. They don't list a house all that, every time. So they figure, they know what they're doing.
I know, but they don't.
And setting up the house for the photos is huge. So one thing that I do for my clients for homes that are occupied is I work with a professional stager. So she goes out to the house after my meeting and stays at least an hour and kind of walks through and gives them ideas, like maybe you move your desk over here, remove this from the wall, or maybe move this painting over here. And she's got the best ideas to make sure that the home is ready for showings and photos.
Take all the clutter out.
Yes. Yep. So that's another way that I try to.
Staging makes a huge difference, though. Even like for the more pricier homes, to actually get it professionally staged, it makes a big difference.
It really does. And I think a lot of people, you got to think about your house. It's for you. You pick the things you want. And there's nothing wrong with anybody's home. But when you're selling it, you need to make it attractive to the most amount of people possible. And so you need somebody that knows what they're doing that can tell you, I love your yellow wall and your orange bed. Yet for the pictures, I think it's going to be best if we paint the wall and maybe move this other bed in here, whatever it may be.
Yeah, because staging can, we recently sold a home. It was a investment property, and when they told me it was like $1,700 to stage it because it's professionally staged, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to take that chance. But I figured, let's try it. Did it, and we got, it's a crazy market, but still, $50,000 over asking price. I mean, that I'd spend $1,700 and make $50,000 over anytime.
Absolutely.
So.
What's really neat now for vacant homes, we can actually do virtual staging.
Yeah, that's good too.
And so that's another option for maybe somebody that has a vacant home that loves the staging, but it's not in their budget to pay for the furniture.
Yeah, because they charge per picture.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if those stagers would require me to move all my Beanie Babies off of my TVs.
Yeah, you probably want to take those and your Cabbage Patch Kids that you are saving.
Those Beanie Babies are worth a lot.
Maybe they could be negotiable with
They
the
used
sale of
to
the
be.
home.
It used to be. I don't have any Beanie Babies. My kids used to. Anyway. So with your flyers that you in today's market, how far in advance do you do that? Like how many days ahead of? Do you put it as a coming soon type flyer too, in case somebody in the neighborhood knows somebody else that's looking that maybe can contact you before it even goes on MLS?
It depends, because now we have a lot of rules when it comes to advertising listings as coming soon. So it really depends on the seller and their timing and how much time they have. But yeah, so I try to get the photos at least a week ahead of time, so that way I have time to do all the marketing. But it really is from the moment I'm leaving that house, it's like, we got to go. I got a lot to get done because we want to make sure these things happen prior to it hitting the market.
Right. Okay. No, that's great. So marketing for listings. So how's this year been so far? Has it been as busy as last year? I know you said last year was just crazy busy.
I would say me personally, I'm busy, but it's not the same type of busy. Last year I helped, I think it was 37 buyers, so I was in my car a lot. I was driving all over the place. And the market was just insane because all these people wanted to buy homes, rates had dropped. And this year is a lot different because inventory has just dropped so much, even since last year. We still have the demand up, but less homes were hitting the market. I have a new person in my personal life. I've got the baby at home, so it's just different. Definitely not seeing quite as many homes close as last year. However, in the last few months, we are starting to see the market begin to soften. So whether that's seasonal or whether this is the beginning of a different type of market, only time will tell. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely changes happening.
Yeah, I can't wait till a normal market comes.
I think we need it. I don't think it's not good, really. I mean, it's great for sellers that have somewhere to go to be able to get all these multiple offers and get way over list price. But for everybody else, it's really not a good thing. And it's really sad for people that truly need to find a home that can't get a house.
Yeah. All right.
Another video thing I wanted to talk about. I know when I do listings, I'll do Facebook Live prior to, right? Prior to an open house, or as I'm setting up for an open house, or maybe after I met with the sellers, I'll jump on Facebook and say, hey guys, this is about to go on the market here, and just kind of get the word out, right? And then say, stay tuned.
Yes, I love that.
So.
Yep. And the live stuff, I remember that. I mean, we used to teach that too because people would get notified, right?
Yes.
On Facebook when you're going live.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people use that enough either.
No.
Right now.
Myself included. I mean, usually I don't think, let me just do the video right now and show everybody. It's more, let me do it. Let me make sure I didn't say the wrong thing, because that's happened too, where I'm like, what did I just say?
Yeah.
That was wrong.
But it also shows how real you are.
Yeah.
And then, I think Facebook Live is still powerful. It's still pretty powerful.
Absolutely.
To go out and do it.
Yeah. Anything else you want to share with agents before we move to the next segment?
I would just say, don't take anything for granted. Even if we are in a seller's market, don't just throw the house on the MLS. It's not in the seller's best interest. It's not fair to them. But also, that's your reputation, and the market will change. And do you want that person telling their friend, oh, no, they just threw it on the MLS and did nothing, when their friend needed to sell that $4 million home? Probably not.
Yeah, and also, I mean, because you want to be professional all the time, Now I'm going to throw. Oh, I'm not going to name names, but I know that because it's a seller's market. The selling agents, they're sometimes being ridiculous, and then sometimes us as buyers agents or just agents in general, if we work with them again, it's like, remember that time, So
I do agree, and I have something that I have to add to that, because last year it was one of those times it was difficult for me to help a buyer find a home. We found her a home. There were some hiccups. Appraisal comes in low, different things with the repairs. And once the house closed, that listing agent, she left a gift card for me and for my client, the new owner. Her card to my client just said nothing about good things about me, that you picked a great agent, she really worked hard for you. And then awesome. To me about how it was so great working with me and a great agent. And I will never forget that. And she just emailed me a few weeks ago about something and said, I don't know if you remember me. And I'm like, Crystal? I could never forget you after
That's
that.
a good idea.
Yeah.
That's great.
But I agree. It's like we just need to be nice. There is no reason for us. I mean, we're on the same team.
That's right.
We work for our clients, but we need to be nice to each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything else, Joey?
No, I'm good.
No.
You may move on.
No. Well, I wanted to make sure that we mentioned sponsors of the show, Security Title Agency and Fidelity National Home Warranty. They always do a great job. So
Absolutely.
give them a shot, folks.
Yes.
All right, you ready to get into the ring?
Here we go.
All right.
All right.
Let's do it. What do you think the reason is that many agents are not successful?
They're not consistent with anything they do. They try something, they do it for 2 days or 2 weeks and go, oh, it's too hard or it didn't work, and give up and go to the next thing.
Yeah. All right. How about a book recommendation?
Okay. Now, Jeff, who has time to read books? I've been reading the same book since January 1st. I'm about halfway done with it. I have a whole list of books I want to read.
Okay, Don. Okay.
Get back to me next year.
How about during the pandemic and everything, right? Did you have a favorite Netflix or Amazon Prime series?
I had so many that I can probably not even think of them all. But a friend of mine got me into Ozarks.
Ozark?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so I can't wait for that one to come back. Raising Dion. It's kid appropriate, but like, I don't even, like science fiction type thing. Really good. They're coming out with a second season.
Hadn't heard of that one.
Yeah, that one's really good. Finished Homeland. Never had finished that. So we got Showtime on. I almost said Showing Time.
Oh, yeah.
That's the app we use for
Yeah.
showings. But no, Showtime. Yeah, and also finished United States of Terra from like 10 years ago. I'd never finished that. So that was a good one.
Hadn't heard of that one either.
Yeah, me either.
it
United
out.
States of Terra? Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All
I just
right.
finished one.
What'd you finish?
Timber
Must have been good.
something.
Yeah, that sounds like a great one.
It's a documentary about people who cut trees down.
Oh, loggers and all that?
Yeah,
Like
something
the
like
people that do the
It's
logging?
Timberland something.
Huh.
Yeah, it reminded me of you for some reason. I don't know why.
Maybe the facial hair
Maybe.
and the guns.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. We're watching one right now. It's more of a, it's definitely a family-friendly one. It's called Heartland.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
No.
I think
It's
Heather
got like
watches
13 seasons.
that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And each season has like 18 episodes. Yeah,
That's-
we're only in season number.
This is the one with the Dixie,
Right.
like kind of Dixie.
So it takes place up in Canada, and it's they own a ranch.
Oh, okay.
So it's about like horses.
Oh yeah.
But it's a really good, cool family dynamic because the grandpa lives there and the granddaughters, and now those granddaughters have kids. So it's,
That
I mean,
sounds
it's a
cool.
family
Nice.
friendly show. It's hard to find wholesome type shows out there.
Yeah,
anymore, it
none
seems
of
like.
mine I said are very family friendly except for the one.
Oh, gosh. How about Apple or Android?
Oh, Apple. It's only because I've had it for so long and I don't do
See?
change very well, so let's just say Apple.
All right. I say Apple, too. I mean, people listening to the show already know Joey's Android, but
Oh.
I like Apple computers.
I've added this. I mean, we've only added this question, for like the last 3 or 4?
And everyone said Apple.
Everybody said Apple.
Yeah. Apple TV is good too.
Sorry, Joey.
Yeah. There's have you guys ever watched Ted Lasso? That's on
No.
Apple TV.
No, I haven't.
I don't have Apple TV.
If you watch just get Apple TV for the the free
7-day trial.
Yeah, and watch Ted Lasso. You guys will love that. That's so good. It's so good.
All right.
Yeah, Ted Lasso.
We'll try it. Any other questions you have, Joey?
No, that's all.
Anything you want to
Move
share
on.
about your... Well, I've asked all my questions here. Let's see. What else we got going on? Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So what is the funniest thing that Susan's done around you or said around you?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
tough
one.
one. I mean, she does a bunch of funny things. So
She is funny. I don't know. I feel like I'm always the one like word vomiting to her.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she's like, I get you. I get you.
Yeah, that's true. She does say that a lot.
She does.
Oh, yeah, she does say that. She says that a lot.
I get you. I get you.
Well, now that we're getting back to normal, out there, what's one thing that you have been really looking forward to getting back to?
That I wasn't doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of COVID.
I really missed going to the movies. It was like something I would take for granted. I used to do the summer movie program with my kids. It's like $2 a movie, and they still haven't opened that back up. But we did finally go see a movie a few weeks ago, so that was nice. And it was just one of those things like, this is so small, but I really did take this for granted. It's just making memories. And
it's so funny you say that, because just 2 days ago, my wife was going through her gift card things, because she has a bunch of gift cards. She's like, I'm probably never even going to use these gift cards. One was for AMC, and I'm like, well, maybe now, maybe we can go to a movie. What if we go in the daytime, right? There's not very many people there or whatever. She's like, you know what? Yeah, let's go, because I miss going to the movie just to have the popcorn. That's why I go to the movies.
Yeah, popcorn and red vines. And
Well, popcorn and just the soda, the cold, because I don't drink soda very often. So
it's a special treat.
Yeah, I go there. She likes to watch the previews.
So she likes to get there early.
She gets mad if I make her miss she's like, the previews are already on.
You're late.
Anyway, but well, it's been so much fun having you in here.
Thanks for having me. This is great.
Absolutely. No, it's a totally fun episode. Really like it. Agents, you need to start doing video.
Video.
If not, Dawn's going to hear blow right past you with her business. So, all right. And agents, until next time, we see you later. All right. Take care.